So we can just start by getting comfortable. You might sit on a pillow or a chair, or maybe lie down for a minute. And we'll just take a minute to arrive, to settle in. So you might close your eyes. Notice the breath. Feeling the connection with the ground. And noticing any thoughts or stories that are coming with us. And no need to do anything, just taking a little bit of time to feel how the body feels, how the mind feels right now in this space. And then as you're ready, we can start to move a little bit more. So you might transition to standing if that feels good. Otherwise, sitting or lying down is also fine. And giving ourselves some extra time to transition. So allowing ourselves to explore. Finding some freedom of movement. And then when you're ready, you might shake out hands and feet, just letting go of any extra energy, any extra tension, anything that's not needed right now in this moment. And then rubbing the hands together and starting with the low back. So you might close your eyes here, just noticing the shape of the pelvis, the weight of this area, the low belly, offering touch, movement, awareness, maybe wiggling the hips from side to side. And you might explore running the hands up and down the spine, just noticing the length of the spine. And then maybe shaking the hands and feet out again, just wiggling the body. And rubbing the hands together one more time. Bringing the hands over the eyes. Noticing sensations around the eyes, behind the eyes. Letting go of any extra tension in the face, around the jaw. Maybe opening and closing the jaw a few times. Feeling the base of the skull. And then as you're ready, using touch, movement, awareness, going all the way from the head down to the feet. Maybe giving yourself a head rub. Feeling the ears. Checking in with the neck, the throat, the shoulders. Maybe exploring circles with the shoulders, with the arms, exploring movements in the wrists and fingers. And staying with the breath. So allowing the breath to be long and slow, filling up the whole body, and then emptying. Feeling the feet on the ground, exploring the ribs, the chest, feeling the sides of the body, the belly, the back, exploring the hips and pelvis and legs. You might shake out the legs all the way down to the ankles, the feet, the toes. And then giving some extra attention to the hips, offering some touch or movement to help warm up the hips. And following any last movement, any last wiggle. And as you're ready, coming to sitting or lying down and beginning to welcome in more stillness. So you might find a pillow or a chair to sit on, just making sure that you're comfortable, finding a way that your spine can be long. Relaxing the belly. And you might close your eyes, rock the pelvis forward and back, just noticing the connection between the pelvis, the spine, the shoulders, and the head. And maybe moving from side to side, finding that sweet spot where the head feels light, the bones can stack over each other, and the breath is free to move throughout the body. Letting go of any tension in the jaw, relaxing the shoulders back and down, and allowing the belly to be soft. And today we'll spend some extra attention playing with gravity and lift. So in whatever position you've found, just noticing the weight of the body, the pull of gravity, feeling the connection with the ground. feeling the weight of the bones, and then also noticing this sense of lift as we breathe in, finding spaciousness between the bones. And then letting it all go as we breathe out. Allowing the breath to slow down. Finding length in the breath, allowing the breath to fill up the whole body, and then letting it go, finding a sense of emptiness. Feeling the chest and belly lift and fall with the movement of breath. And noticing any thoughts, allowing thoughts to just pass by so we don't have to push them away. You can just notice thoughts or stories and allow them to float by like leaves on the water. And when we get hooked in a story, bringing the mind back to any sensation you're aware of right now. Feeling the temperature of the air, feeling the weight of the body. Noticing the sensations of breath passing through the nose, the mouth, the throat. Moving the ribs and spine, the chest and belly, all the way down to the pelvic floor. Noticing the sound of breath. Feeling any movements inside the body. Maybe there's a sense of the fluid body. Feeling the bones shift and move with the breath. And letting go of any tension around the eyes, between the eyebrows, behind the eyes, in the face. Relaxing the jaw, softening the shoulders and the belly. And you might explore counting the breath from 1 to 10. Noticing when we're breathing in and breathing out. And noticing when the mind wanders, just bringing it back. Anything happening right now. Taking some time to allow the thoughts to settle like snow in a snow globe. So the thinking mind can take a short break. And noticing any sense of the body being lifted up towards the sky and pulled down towards the ground. So you might feel the expansion of breath in the spine, decompressing the vertebra. And then relaxing down towards the ground, finding support, allowing the weight of the body to be supported by the ground, hand lifted up towards the sky. And following the next 3 breaths, seeing if we can really enjoy these last moments of stillness, quiet, knowing that movement will begin soon. And then slowly, as you're ready, beginning to allow more movements to happen. So just taking some time to follow any ways that the body really wants to move, following any tiny circles, any wave-like undulations, maybe accentuating the movements of breath. You might try expanding the arms out to the side, just feeling the length of you, the width of your body, and allowing the body to take up space. You might close the eyes and bring a hand or two to the top of the head. Maybe bringing one hand to the base of the spine, to the sacrum. Just feeling this sense of lifting up and dropping down at the same time. So finding space in the spine. And you might bring a hand to the base of the skull, feeling the neck. Allowing the neck to be long. Feeling the space between the vertebra and the neck. Maybe bringing the other hand to the low belly. Letting go of extra tension in the belly and just finding this sense of lift. This part of you that wants to be upright, that's pulling up toward the sky. Maybe lifting both arms up over your head and just feeling the rootedness of the low body, the support of the ground. and the stretch pulling upwards. Exploring with the chest. You might bring one hand to the front of the chest, to the sternum, to this bone in the center, noticing if there's any sense of lift in the chest. Maybe the low back can pull down towards the ground and the sternum can lift up towards the sky, just the tiniest bit. Finding expansion in the chest. And then as you're ready, you might explore the legs and feet. So maybe stretching the legs out long, just noticing the length of the legs. The connection to the pelvis. So you might shake out the legs a little bit. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the feet. And then if it interests you or feels possible, you might explore allowing the body to follow gravity down to the ground. Maybe lying on your back or side. And if you're at your desk and this doesn't feel possible, or you've got a baby on your lap, you can always explore gravity with the weight of your head. So you might allow your head to fall forward, feeling the pull of gravity, feeling the length in the spine. So if you're exploring with the ground, allowing the body to get heavy, finding the support of the ground. If you're sitting, you can feel the weight of the pelvis pulling down to the ground. Feel the weight of the head. And then finding a sense of lift. So if you're lying down, you might allow your legs to lift. So really noticing what's the easiest way for this body to move right now. So you don't need to work letting go of any extra effort. So giving yourself enough time to find that sense of lift, allowing the body to sort of lift itself. So if you're sitting, you can explore with the head or with the arms. If you're allowing your head to fall forward, you might wait for that moment that it wants to lift itself back up. And if you're lying down, playing the same game with the legs. So you might put one foot on the ground, allow one leg to lift at a time, and just feeling that sense of exploration, a sense of adventure with the body, waiting for the moment that the body wants to lift, that it's being pulled up towards the sky. So maybe extending the legs out long if you're lying. And if you're sitting, you might explore with the arms. And if you're lying, you can also explore with the arms. Almost like a bird, imagining wings or feathers and seeing if you can sort of find that movement, the connection to the air, letting go of extra effort in the muscles, and seeing if we can allow the body to lift itself up. So you can also explore with the legs if you're sitting. And you might explore pushing one foot into the ground and noticing what happens with the pelvis. So pushing one foot down, noticing when the pelvis has the impulse to lift, staying with the breath, allowing the exploration to be really easy. And if it's feeling challenging or there's any pain or discomfort, allowing the movement to be smaller, slower. And you might explore with the other foot. Noticing any connection with the spine. Maybe there's even a tiny movement up in the head and neck. And then you might explore pushing both feet into the ground and noticing just this subtle, gentle movement in the pelvis. And then you might take a small pause, closing the eyes if they're not already closed, noticing the breath, and feeling any subtle shifts, any changes in the body, in the mind. And you might explore this movement one more time, pushing one foot into the ground or pushing both feet into the ground, and just noticing the impulse in the pelvis. Allowing the breath to be slow and long. And then you might explore going back and forth, pushing one foot into the ground and then the other, and just noticing the movements in the pelvis. The movements in the spine, in the ribs. And then taking a moment to pause, feeling the weight of the body, the support of the ground. And if you're lying down, exploring our way back to sitting. And taking a moment to integrate these movements. Maybe wiggling out the spine. And taking a moment to arrive in sitting. To pause here just to notice any changes in the pelvis, in the spine, in the head, anywhere in the body. Seeing if the thinking mind has shifted, maybe it's slowed down. And you might try bringing your hands over your eyes and offering gentle touch from the face over the throat, the chest, the belly, down to the pelvis. Maybe going all the way out to the knees. And you might explore this a few more times, just giving ourselves time to integrate this work and letting go of anything extra that's no longer needed.